Cheers to your crazy ex. I hope they're not well. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding, okay? We wish them well, even though they're little cuckoo bonkers, even though they probably did us dirty. We still wish them well and we move forward in life like the mature adults that we are. Right? I can't even say that with a straight face. That reminds me of Cardi B when she's like, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I wish you well in hell.
I wish you well in hell.
Anyways, we're just cheersing to that, okay? Cheers. Let me know your stories. You can keep it anonymous if you've experienced a crazy ex or you know a friend who has, in the comments. I was thinking about maybe even using some of the stories from the comments in a future video, because that'd be fun. After 2 years of dating, I found out my ex-boyfriend had been cheating on me, so obviously I ended it. But he couldn't deal with that. He started harassing me, hacking into my Facebook, emails, messaging my friends, saying that I am a whore, etc., etc. I mean, that totally makes sense. Had to move from where I was born / brought up just to get rid of the hassle. Put me off dating for a few years. Yeah, that would do it for me. Not to mention, the kicker is that they had been the cheater, but couldn't deal with you breaking up. Oh, you can't deal with losing me, but you want to cheat on me and expect me to stay. Don't you love how people do that? My high school girlfriend told me she had cancer after our first date. I hate these stories. If this is a fake cancer story, it's gonna bug me because we see them all the time and it's terrible. She asked me not to tell anyone and that her parents got really upset if it was mentioned, so as not to talk about it with anyone. I dated her for 6 months. She turned herself anorexic to appear sickly. Oh my God, this is very serious trigger warning. I know it's a little late, but I didn't know what this was. Once I started making friends, no one understood why I was with her and I kept her a secret. Well, I finally put 2 and 2 together after she told me she was going in for chemo on a Monday. She said she wasn't going to be at school for at least a week. I caught her trying to hide from me before the first class and asked her how her chemo went. She said it went so well that all her hair fell out, but they sewed it all together and sewed the wig to her head. Yeah, she was a special one. Infuriates me. I understand we're reading these stories. It's like, haha, it's a story that was put on Reddit, like, talk about my crazy ex. Like, this is actually so serious. To create a story like that, to make yourself sick, to lie about something so serious that people lose people to that every day. Yeah, that's like a whole other, that's a bigger issue, y'all. I ain't even laughing. A few years ago, I was on the outs with a very dependent girlfriend. What started out as just casual dating turned into her practically living at my house, needing to constantly be in contact with me and always trying to spy on my social media accounts. She was extremely depressed and used my sympathy as a weapon to keep pulling me back whenever one of her crazy actions would push me away. You know, sometimes we've all been there. It took my stupid younger self a long time to see the pattern. When I finally did and she realized that she was losing me, she ran over my dog, thinking that the grieving process would bring us back together. I can't, not the dog, not the dog, please. The worst part is it kind of did. No! The pain of having to drive my dog to the vet and put him down was too much for me to handle on my own, and for once, she was there for me instead of the other way around. Until a few weeks later when she drunkenly admitted what she had done. I have never been so mad about anything. She's a serial killer. I was raised never to raise my hand to women, but my morals were seriously tested at that point. I couldn't get the trip to the vet to put the little guy down out of my head. How could this person that I loved have done something so psychopathic? I threw all of her stuff out and had to physically remove her from my house. I filed a restraining order, but before it went through, I had to threaten to press charges just to keep her away. I haven't talked to her since. I feel bad for anyone that gets caught up in her psycho stuff. I thought she loved me, but that really led me to wonder if she was some kind of psycho / sociopath who had been playing me a fool the whole time. It's not even like we're trying to be rude by calling someone a psycho. If you're able to do that, then you have to have some type of mental illness going on. Without coming across like rude or insensitive, you You cannot be in a healthy state of mind and run over an innocent dog and then lie about it and go to the vet with the person who owns it. Like, that's so twisted, you know? So there's bigger issues here. Y'all, this video is a whole other level of crazy. I thought we were gonna be like, oh, he farted in an envelope and sent it to me in the mail. No! We're talking about people who literally belong behind, like, bars. Y'all are making my exes look like angels, let me tell you. I had a boyfriend in high school who was abusive verbally, so I broke up with him thinking we'd go our separate ways. Good for you for ending it. We all deserve respect. Boy, was I wrong. He went and cried, literally cried, to the guidance counselor. She hauled us both out of class, and me and Bradley had to talk it out. I told her I didn't want to be with him because he yelled at me all the time and freaked out when I did something that he deemed wrong, which was pretty much everything. He was the one who punched a hole in the wall in our economic class. But she didn't care. We wouldn't leave until it was resolved. Wait, what? We couldn't leave until it was resolved, which meant us getting back together over my dead body. Carol, guidance counselor. You don't get to choose who I take back, but nice try. I got out of that relationship when we went to different schools. Then he ended up in rehab and would have people sneak me letters. Looking back, it was nuts, and I was dumb for not doing more to be rid of him earlier and permanently. Yeah, and I would be going to somebody else being like, yo, this guidance counselor, she should not have that position because she's trying to guide me to stay in a verbally abusive relationship. Can we get someone else in that room, please? My ex was a pathological liar. He lied about everything. I once was at his apartment waiting for him to finish work. He had invited me over. Well, I am texting him all night trying to figure out why he wasn't there yet. He finally arrives at around midnight saying he has to leave right away to go fix something. The next day he is tagged in tons of pictures at a bar with coworkers. Another time I showed up and my toothbrush was missing. He said my dog ate it and threw it out, but it ended up being in his closet. Like, why even lie about a toothbrush? I would try to figure out why he was lying, and he would make me think everything was in my head. He ended up sending me into severe depression where I was doubting everything about myself. I was sick to my stomach for weeks, lost a bunch of weight from puking and not being able to eat anything. Worst relationship ever. Oh my gosh. Ugh, I hate hearing about unhealthy relationships. It's a really hard subject because it's funny. Some of them are funny, like when they're just like, not very serious and it's like little playful things, and then some are very serious, and it's relationships are a huge part of mental health, physical health, and this just ain't funny, y'all. We gotta take care of ourselves. We gotta, you know, not tolerate things, not settle, not make excuses for people we love. But I feel like we've all been there. We stayed in relationships longer than we should have. We've learned the lesson. Maybe you're learning it now. But we all deserve the absolute freaking best. Everybody, every single one of us. 2 years after I ended things, she attempted to contact me again. I was not having it. After a few failed attempts, she sent another message that said, "You better find your God now because I'm going, to effing murder you." Okay. Yeah, okay, great. That's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. Like, save that message, go to the police, start a freaking case. This is crazy. Dated casually for a few weeks, decided she wasn't for me, so I called it off. I'm sorry, I'm thirsty. Get a call a week or so later saying that I gave her gonorrhea. WTF. Go to the doc, get tested with a thing down Mr. Pee-hole. I don't need the vision. Ow! Yeah, I bet. It then comes back to me that it was just revenge for breaking up with her. She was going to tell me she was pregnant and make me pay for the procedure, but was talked out of that by her best friend. I would have rather paid the money. This is a whole other level of like drama and taking things too far. Like, y'all can't be mentally stable. Like, not even being rude. It's crazy behavior. It's concerning. One of my exes was convinced that I was cheating on her with both my mother and sister. Ew! I am so done with this video. I tell you, I can't handle anything else. So whenever I spent time alone with either of them, I was bombarded with text messages and phone calls. When my mother, sister, and I went on a family vacation to New York City, she was insistent that I sleep in the hotel's fire escape because she thought I was going to have, I'm gonna throw up, intimacy with them. Did you sleep in the fire escape, number one? When you saw her say that to you or heard her, did you end it right then and there? I need to know. I need to know. I need to know who I judge in this situation, because if you stayed, I'm judging you. My first boyfriend stalked me, followed me everywhere, spray painted threats on the road on my way to school and back. We saw the movie Saw together, so there were lines with, "Anne, I want to play a game," ew, creepy, and many more written on the road. Tried to kill who? You? And he set my house on fire. Oh my God. All because I broke up with him after 4 months. I was 14. He was 15. I've always dated psychos. This was only the first one. Well, maybe we should be more aware of the red flags. Maybe. I'm not blaming you for the psychos, but I'm blaming you for dating the psychos. That's a lot. At 15 years old, stalking, creepy messages, setting a house on fire. This person belongs behind bars. Like, literally. Like, they tried to kill you and set your house on fire. What? You're telling this story way too casually. Oh my God, my computer's died. Y'all, we are racing the clock. Let's play a fun game. I have 12% on my battery. Will I get through it? So I was sitting on my front porch with this girl who lived down the block. We were hooking up after I had recently broken up with my psychotic, substance-addicted ex-girlfriend for cheating on me. That's a hefty sentence. So this silver car rolls by that I recognize as her, the ex's friend's vehicle. And while it's rolling by my house, the back door opens up and out rolls my screaming, crying psycho ex. The biatch hits the concrete at 10 miles per hour and then jumps up with a baseball bat and starts screaming that she is gonna kill the other chick. I put the other girl in my house and tried to calm her down. Only a threat of a police call got her to leave. A threat? You could not dial that number fast enough. What do you mean a threat? Call the police? Y'all are too generous with these people, I swear. Y'all are just, I get it. We're trying to see the good in people. People can change. They've worked on themselves. Yeah, I've been there. But anyways, we're not about to get into that. I'm out of here, you guys. I want to hear your stories down in the comments. Stay classy out there, stay sassy, and friggin' stay safe, apparently, if you're dating.